The day the sky fell. It was a quiet evening, the kind of evening where the world seems to breathe a little slower. The sun was setting behind the hills, casting an orange glow across my farmland. I'd been living here alone for years. Just me, the house I built, and acres of land that stretched as far as my tired eyes could see. Life was predictable, dull even, but that's how I liked it. Until the day the sky fell. At first, it was a distant rumble, almost like thunder, but there wasn't a cloud in sight. Then the sound turned into a roar, louder than anything I'd ever heard. I stepped out of the house, shielding my eyes against the piercing light that tore across the sky. It looked like a falling star, only bigger, faster, and it was headed straight for my land. The ground shook violently as the object struck, throwing me off balance. A plume of smoke and fire rose up in the distance, painting the horizon black. I grabbed my coat and ran toward it, my heart racing with fear and something else I couldn't quite name. When I reached the crash site, I saw it, a colossal, silver vessel half buried in the earth. It wasn't like anything I'd seen in movies or read about in books. It was sleek, glowing faintly with blue lights along its jagged surface. I stood there frozen, my mind struggling to make sense of it all. That's when I heard the sound, a faint hum, almost melodic, coming from inside. The door slid open with a hiss, and then she stepped out. A woman. At least, she looked like a woman, though there was something otherworldly about her. Her skin shimmered faintly under the dim light, smooth and silver with a faint lavender tint. Her eyes, large, luminous, and filled with intelligence, fixed on me. Her hair, if you could call it that, was a cascade of what looked like liquid light, flowing around her face and shoulders. She took a step forward, and I instinctively stumbled back. "Stay away!" I shouted, though my voice cracked with uncertainty. But she didn't seem threatening. She stopped, tilting her head as if trying to understand me. Then she spoke, not with words, not with sound, but directly into my mind. "I'm not here to harm you." From that moment, my life was never the same. Her name was Elora, or at least that's how I heard it in my head. She told me she was from a place so distant I couldn't fathom it, a realm of stars I'd never seen. Her ship had been damaged, forced to crash on Earth while escaping something terrible, she said, though she wouldn't tell me what. At first, I didn't trust her. How could I? But Elora was patient, almost kind, and there was a sadness about her that made it hard to keep my distance. Over time, I learned more. She showed me technology that defied logic, tools that could heal wounds in seconds and light that could bend itself into solid shapes. She could speak to me without moving her lips, and in moments of silence, she could make me feel emotions that weren't my own. Why me? I asked her one night as we sat under the stars. The very stars she said were her home. "Why did you crash here?" "It was no accident," she replied. "Your land, your planet, it called to me." I didn't understand then what she meant. But I would soon. Elora never told me exactly why she came. Not at first. But strange things started happening. Plants on my land grew faster and stronger than I'd ever seen. I planted seeds, and they sprouted overnight. The air felt cleaner, the animals healthier. It was as if her presence alone brought life to everything around her. And then there were the dreams. In my dreams, I saw visions of Earth's future, a future where the skies burned and the oceans swallowed the cities, a future where the stars themselves seemed to abandon us. Elora told me these were warnings. "You're the key," she said one day. "You must help me." "Help you do what?" I asked, still unsure of what I'd gotten myself into. "Help me save your world over the next months." Elora and I worked together. She taught me things no human was ever meant to know. How to harness energy, how to communicate without words, and how to listen to the earth as though it were alive. She told me about the others. beings who had destroyed her home and were now searching for new worlds to consume. "They're coming here," she said softly, her glowing eyes fixed on the horizon. "And you want me to stop them?" I asked, incredulous. "Not alone. I will help you." In the end, the life I had before, the quiet, simple days, faded into a distant memory. I became something I never thought possible, a guardian, a bridge between worlds. With a Laura by my side, we prepared for what was coming, a battle not just for my land, but for all of Earth. Sometimes I still look back on that first night when the sky fell and she appeared. I think about the life I used to have, the man I used to be, and though I miss the simplicity of those days, I don't regret what happened. Because she was right. The world had called to her, and through her, it called to me, and I answered.